Hey everyone, welcome to the Withering Effect. This is episode 31, and today's date's February 10th, 2020, and I am Duds, or Duds versus known to the rest of the interwebs.
And I am Jimbo, also known as Jimbo Slice. In this episode, we're going to be covering all the latest Minecraft 1.16 snapshot news. But first, what have you been up to this week, Duds?
Yeah, I ended up finishing up the iron farm. It was a funny story. So I took Friday off of work because basically for the past week and a half, I just felt like trash. I was like, you know what? I'm taking Friday off. I'm going to rest. I'm going to recoup.
Yeah.
Nice long weekend. I ended up spending Friday cleaning carpets and then finishing an iron farm.
Oh.
Because I just couldn't sit still and rest. So
Yeah, that's opposite of rest, Duds.
yeah. So I ended up finishing my iron farm episode. Was able to put it out early Saturday morning. It seems well received, considering I haven't put an episode out since like Christmas. So
Yeah, I was able to see that. I like how you fit that inside that room right there. I'm surprised there's enough room.
Yeah.
Glad the iron farms are a little more compact.
Yeah, it is defunct. I still haven't gotten rid of the nitwit villagers. I'm thinking about doing that on a live stream, because watching me fail at that and fall into my own lava trap will be fun. Other than that, I went ahead and I've started to make a carrot and potato farm using the bees.
Ooh, okay.
So, well, I shouldn't say started. I've got the planning done. I just need to start building it in survival. So,
Yeah, did you have to test it and everything, make sure everything worked out?
Yeah, the way I'm getting rid of the carrots and potatoes, or transferring the carrots and potatoes, is different than what I did last time. Last time I was using that whole lighting trick. Suze, hey, she just doesn't stop. It wouldn't be an episode without her making noise. But yeah, I was using the lighting trick for the carrot potato farm last time. This time I'm going to use the whole community aspect of the villagers, where like at a certain time the villagers all go meet by a bell and hang out and talk and all that kinds of stuff. So my plan is to have one villager behind a couple hopper minecarts. And so when my farming villager is like, oh hey, it's time to go chill out by the bell, he'll see that villager be like, oh, that villager's hungry, here's some carrots, and throw some carrots at it. But the hopper minecarts will snatch the carrots before it gets to that villager and go ahead and put it in my storage system.
Yeah, intercepted.
And
the bees help. The bees help fertilize all this. Help their crops grow faster. Yep.
They're just kind of there for fun, so I say I can play with bees. I don't know if I'm wanting making any kind of like honey harvesting contraption yet. I need to see what those are all about, and then I'll decide if I want to add that, or if I just kind of want to do a manual, go get some hive stuff, snip, whatever, smoke them out, and all that good jazz.
Yeah, until I need to use the honey block or the honeycomb block, I don't think I'm going to be messing with them until then.
Yeah.
But I know there's a lot of uses for them.
My XP spawn thing, you can tell at the beginning of the episode, the stupid flying arm broke again. Like, I don't know what's my luck with flying machines.
Yeah, I did see that.
It breaks all the time. And I'm assuming it's because, like, I'm logging off or whatever while it's, like, mid-flight or something.
Yeah, maybe the loading and unloading mechanics.
Maybe
that's
it's so dumb. I think I'm just going to put it on a button so I can look over and be like, oh, my bamboo's high. Push the button.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What is it, like a observer sensor now?
Yeah, it's a day and night. So whenever it turns day, it runs. And whenever it turns night, it runs. Because it was so small. I was like, oh, I probably need to make this run multiple times to make sure I get enough bamboo. Yeah, that was a lie.
Yeah, I was just going to say you shouldn't be loading up that much if it's only night and day, but I get it now.
Yeah. But what about you? What have you been up to this week?
Well, I had to go check out the new snapshot. That's one thing. That's pretty much all the Minecraft I did. You know, I had to go and check out the Nether, see about, you know, all the new stuff that's in there that we're going to be talking about. Mainly, you know, I got this surgery coming up with my left eye. Of course, you know, we all know that it's very poor sight right now. But
Yeah.
they mentioned the surgery. They're going to have to put a belt around my eye. Now, I'm not sure what that entails, but the doctor did say it's going to be pretty painful. My eye will be swollen shut for a couple weeks at the least. So, ooh, yeah, I got to kind of get prepped for that. But that's in March, mid-March, so I should be okay there. Besides that, me and my wife's been enjoying our time down here playing 7 Days to Die, because that's her new favorite game. So I've been playing it with her, and I've been getting into that. But this definitely the Minecraft snapshot kind of snapped me back to Minecraft there for a little bit, and I'm loving what I see.
Oh yeah, and like we said earlier, that's the topic for the episode. So we're going to be talking a lot about it. Matter of fact, if you don't have anything else, we'll go ahead and hop into the news so we can get to that bulk of the 116 stuff. So for the news, we're just going to go over the features they added, and then we're going to dissect more of 116 stuff a little bit later. So obviously, Snapshot came out. They've added new nether blocks, lots of them. New woods, new bricks, all that kinds of stuff. Some fancy, rare blocks that I'm kind of upset about, but we'll talk about that. You've got the new biomes, the Crimson Forest, the Warped Forest, Soulsand Valley. Soulsand Valley is beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, that's got to probably be my favorite.
Yeah. They added the hoglins. They don't really work right now, but they have flappy ears. Also, pigmen now have flappy ears.
Were those on the snapshot?
I don't think they're in the snapshot yet.
Okay. I was just about to say, I think they're looking to upgrade that skin as well.
Yeah. I think I saw it on a tweet, like the official Minecraft Twitter. They posted that zombie pigmen are going to be changed to like zombie piglin, and they're going to get the flappy ears too.
Was this recently, that tweet? I remember a long time ago seeing that.
2-3 days I saw it.
Okay. Yeah, I remember when they were talking about the update, there was pictures of the new pigmen. So, I don't know if they'll be pigmen or hogmen.
They called them zombie piglins.
Okay.
So you'd have like the piglins, and now you'd have zombie piglins.
Yeah, the humanoid type of pig.
I really like the idea of putting the flappy ears on the zombie piglins. My only problem with this is, remember back when they changed the horse model? They said the horse model was too detailed and it wasn't Minecraft-like. And now they keep coming out with more and more detailed models.
Yeah.
And we still have this stupid, ugly horse model.
Yeah.
It's like, please revert
That's
back to the better horse model.
Yeah, I never thought about that.
It's probably because the model probably came from a modded or a mod pack, and they just didn't want to keep referencing the mod pack, so the Mojang dev team is probably like, hey, make your own model so we can not reference this mod pack anymore or something. I don't know. I don't know what goes on, but give me a red dragon and give me a better looking horse.
Yeah.
There's
That'll
my one
keep you quiet.
Yeah. Okay, another cool thing is pillager patrols are no longer going to spawn when a player is close to any village. That was kind of a big thing for me, because my biggest worry was I was always going to get a patrol next to a village, then I'd kill the patrol and accidentally walk into the village and start a raid. So now you won't have that anymore, which is funny because now that I made an iron farm, my base is technically a village, which means no more pillager patrols near my base.
Yeah, that's always a plus.
At the same time, a funny thing that comes with making an iron farm now. So this is the first time I've done it since 1.14. And obviously now when you make an iron farm, it's just to trick the game that that's a village and that village needs an iron golem, and that's how you do the farm. Well, you know what else spawns in villages?
Cats.
Cats.
Oh, man.
So every once in a while, you'll see a cat get spawned into my iron farm and get eaten up by the lava or die. But I've also found that more cats spawn outside of the farm, just randomly in my base and run around.
Oh no.
It's always one at a time, so it's not that big of a deal. It's not like there's a ton of cats everywhere.
Okay.
So I'm not really worried about it. It's kind of cool. It gives a little bit of atmosphere. And if I find a jelly cat, I'm going to save it.
Yeah, it's kind of like, what cat we got today? Let's go check.
But yeah, at first I was like, oh no, this is going to get kind of annoying. I don't like a bunch of animals running around my base. The sounds annoy me. But it's just one cat, and it basically runs away from me every time it sees me, so...
Yeah, it keeps creepers away, too.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I got Cornelius to help with that kind of stuff, and he doesn't do jack but kill the guy I don't want him to kill.
Yeah. I saw that. Oh, that was too good.
Yeah.
I'm glad you kept that in the video.
I thought about getting rid of it, and then I was like, no, I'll just get rid of the fact that I had to bring another one all the way up. Like, that whole segment took close to an hour, because the second time I went to do it, I was like, nope, I'm getting a boat ready. He's getting in a minecart. I'm getting my name tag ready. So, but they also added Netherite, which is super interesting, and we're going to be talking probably a lot about that in the main show. Also, walls do not have gaps anymore when stacked vertically. This is probably my biggest disappointment. I really like the gap, and I may be in the minority, but if you look at...
I know what you mean. I couldn't think what you meant right there. The wall block.
Yes, yeah.
When placed next to each other. Yeah, there's no gap. Or on top of each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stacked on top. Yeah, vertically.
When I do my pillars, I like to do a log on either side of a wall, and then stack the wall on top of each other, and then put like a light behind the wall. So it kind of creates this little glow through the wall. It's like my favorite way of doing a pillar. And now that's going to be gone, I think. So
yeah, I've never tried it. You wouldn't imagine if the block covers the whole area, the light wouldn't shine through.
Well, I wasn't even sure if the light actually shone through legitimately, but if you put a sea lantern behind it, you could always see that white blue tint behind it, and I always thought that looked really cool. But I don't know. I know there's a lot of cool redstone things you can do with it now. Like, you can lift a signal and lower a signal really far now vertically. You're not using a pistonless slime box and a redstone thing anymore.
I did see that. I never really paid attention too much how it works.
Yeah.
But
so if you have 3 walls and they're stacked on each other vertically, 20 blocks, heck, you could do 200 blocks if you really want to. And then you have a piston at the top, push a full block over the middle block. It'll change the model for that middle row vertically the entire length. So if you have an observer looking at that middle block, basically anywhere, it's going to obviously do an update and send out a signal.
It'll send it all the way through the walls, huh?
Yeah.
Huh. I remember they did that with leaves. The signal would go through the leaf blocks at one point. That was a bug. So I'm curious if they'll fix that.
I think they decided to leave it in.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I could be wrong. But I don't remember seeing anything about it being fixed.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about it. I do see another bug that the new update has, and that's the gas spawns. It seems like because I think they're concentrating some of these mobs in certain areas, gas can spawn anywhere, I guess. And they're definitely, gas are taking advantage of that. That's for sure. So I don't know if, I imagine that's a bug, because it just seems like way too many gas out there to actually even explore or adventure out.
I was going to say, I know in Soulsand Valley, like, gas spawn there a lot easier. But now that I'm thinking about it, you're right, because pigmen don't spawn everywhere anymore. They only spawn in, like, the Crimson Forest and the Nether Wasteland.
I think just the Crimson now. I could be wrong, but I know the piglins only they only spawn in the Crimson Forest. Can't remember where I heard that, but I think I heard that they only spawn there. I could be wrong.
We'll have to keep looking into it.
Yeah, I know they don't spawn in the warped. I don't see anything spawn in the warped, to be honest. Except
Endermen
for
do.
Enderman. Yeah, Enderman.
Yeah. I liked how Mojang promoted the warped area as the peaceful part of the Nether. I was like, you know what it's like to have 10 Endermen around you? There is no peace happening there.
Yeah, speak for yourself.
But yeah, that's kind of it for the snapshot news per se. Like I said, we're going to dissect all of 116 in the main topic. But let's get some listener comments because we actually have a couple today. So do you want to go ahead and read yours first, Jimbo?
Yeah, sure. We have a comment from Frankly Squirrel. Squirrel?
That's my bad. I typed it wrong.
Okay. There's no S. Frankly Squirrel asks, we haven't seen a, what's that, Bastine Forest? Is that right?
Fortress.
Fortress? Yeah. Bastine, is that how you pronounce it?
I'm not sure. I just know they're referencing like a fortress or a castle. That's why I put that in parentheses for you.
Okay. We haven't seen a fortress for piglins yet. I wonder if ancient debris is a clue as of what they'll be made of. Or even more new blocks to come, he asked. I could see maybe villages for the piglins, maybe not a fortress. But I can't see them leaving like netherite inside these, as rare as it is, inside these villages for piglins. Maybe I'm thinking if any blocks are going to put, you have your wood blocks and probably quartz, maybe another way to gather quartz. But I'm
agreeing with you. I don't think it's going to be a fortress or anything. I think it's going to be a village, and I think it's going to be made out of the new wood types.
Maybe
I say that because they only live in the crimson side. So I don't think they'll use warped wood. There could be. I want to say we saw in one of those snapshot pictures a red in-stone looking texture that we haven't seen yet.
Well, I think I saw the texture on the door. It kind of looked familiar to the door.
Yeah, I think
I saw the door and I was like, that's the block that Dud saw that we noticed in that picture. But
I think you're right.
I'm pretty sure that's it.
Yeah, so I'm going to stick with, I think they're just going to use the new wood types.
Yeah, maybe the nether, the nether warp blocks. Maybe throw those in there.
I think netherite will end up being a treasure in those villages, like how some chests have random bits. Like I think you might find a scrap piece laying around in one of those chests.
Yeah, at the most.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to let it be tradable, even though I would really like it to be. I think they want it to have that rare title over diamond. So I think it's going to still be really hard to come by. But that's a good question.
Yeah, thank you, Frankly Squirrel.
Not Frankly Squirrel. That's a Dud's typo.
Yep.
Alright, our next comment comes from Obni. He says, how would you solve the problem of the netherite block looking awesome, yet being pretty much unusable in survival in order to keep netherite rare and valuable? Also, what other nether biome would you want to see?
Ooh.
Yeah, nether biome. I don't know if you could call it a nether biome, but with the new wood types, I would like to see like piglin shipwrecks.
Yeah.
So kind of like we got in 113, but made out of the new wood. Maybe these woods are what caused the piglin to be able to traverse the lava lakes. And now you're going to get those kind of shipwrecks. And that would be another area where you could find netherite treasure and stuff.
Yeah.
The netherite block, I don't know. It is such a pretty block. Like, I really, really like it. But because it's so rare, I think nobody will play with it unless you're playing a single player world and you're just like mining the crap out of the nether for your own fun. I think in a multiplayer world, I have a feeling in a multiplayer world, basically all of the netherite, once you get your tools and armor done, you're basically going to be giving that stuff away to your other server mates to kind of help them out get there too. Because it's such a rare thing. At least that's the way it is on the Ripple Effect. We're very big on, hey, you need this, this, and this. Here, let me help you out. We're share. If you don't want to be given something, it's like, okay, well, we're trade. I need iron. If you give me iron, here's some netherite, stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's very, very rare. Rarer than diamonds. You know, I mean, it is the most valuable item in the game as of right now. And, yeah, you're not going to be able to play with it as blocks. I doubt. I don't see a farm coming out. You can't farm diamonds. You probably can't farm this stuff. It generates very, very low in the Nether. I want to say between 8 and 22 is the best places to look.
Well, somebody found some like at Y level 100 or something like that too.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if that was some kind of bug, or I'm really not too sure, because the wiki, I guess, said they would spawn between 8 and 22, but some people were finding them in the ceiling. Not much, like very, very little percentage, but yeah. A new biome. I never really thought about that with the new biomes you see. Kind of satisfied with the 3 we got, but a new one, I would kind of like to see like a obsidian type of biome.
Oh,
Kind of like what they did on Hermitcraft. I think it was Cupfan made a obsidian biome. I would like to see one of those, because I don't know, that like he made it look like a burnt wasteland with the obsidian in there, lava running through it.
It looked really good in the Nether too.
Yeah. And it's different from those other 2 biomes, or other 3 biomes we just got.
It'd be another place where you could get obsidian other than the end.
Yeah. Yeah, you can get loads of it there, all in bulk.
Another great question. Thank you, Omni.
Yeah.
Should we get to this week's Discord ad?
Sure.
That's you, Jimbo.
Oh, yeah. This... take 2. This week's Discord ad is from Jason. Go ahead and take it away, Jason.
Hey friends, it's me, Jason, and I'm a member of the Withering Effect Discord. It's a great place to talk to your fellow listeners and give your input into the show. You might even get your question or comment read out on a future episode. Join the Discord today. Link is in the show notes, and I'll see you there. Duds 100% this message.
All right. Thank you, Jason.
Thank you.
Like I said, if you guys would like to do one of those Discord ads, just go ahead and join the Discord. Talk to me, Carl, or Jimbo. We'll get you hooked up with the script and everything. And one of the perks of also joining the Discord is you get to participate in our Block of the Week vote. This week, the choices were paintings, the grindstone, and a daylight sensor.
And the winner of this week's Block of the Week is, drumroll, Carl, daylight sensors.
Yeah, this one was a tight vote. Basically, it was tied all the way up to Sunday, I think it was.
Oh,
so we're like, hey, you guys need to vote some more because we have a 3-way tie. And the daylight detector barely slid in there and got it. So what the daylight detector does is powers adjacent redstone dust, including below, and redstone comparators facing away from the daylight detector. It powers those comparators to a power level that depends on the time of the day, the weather, and the daylight detector's skylight level. Very confusing. I wish they would just use the daylight sensor like a clock now. But, yeah. It powers adjacent redstone repeaters facing away up to power level 15. Except for at night, which we've come to find out when I was building my clock. At nighttime, they only power to 10. And then it'll power adjacent redstone mechanisms, including above, below, such as pistons, redstone lamps, etc. A daylight detector has no effect on any other adjacent blocks. For instance, it cannot power a block the way a repeater can. found that out too. But yeah, so how I would improve the redstone daylight detector: fix the night cycle and turn it into a clock, so I can use it like a clock.
Yeah.
Sorry, that cough is not going away. But yeah, when I was building that clock tower, the biggest gripe I had was that when you turn the daylight sensor to a night light sensor, you couldn't get past power level 10, so it made it almost useless to really tell time. But I did it anyways. What about you, Jimbo? Would you make any changes to the redstone daylight detector?
Well, I have a bit of confession. Mm-hmm. I've never used the daylight detector sensor.
Yeah?
Never used it once. I was going to a couple times with, the day-night cycle, so I haven't really got to play with it. I know how it works and everything. I do know you can make a wireless signal with the daylight sensor. I'm not too sure how it works, but I have seen that. But I do agree with the clock cycle. Maybe make it some way you can go into the daylight sensor. I don't know what you could do in there, but kind of like how you go into a crafting table and adjust things, or you can go into, I don't know, maybe you can go into a daylight sensor and adjust it somehow. Maybe at midday it does something. Maybe in the certain time of the day you want it to do something. You can go ahead and put that on there manually.
Well, I'm thinking about the way daylight cycles work in Minecraft is it's literally just an image that spins around your flat world, and you can have the code just reference the position of the sun to the daylight sensor and just say the daylight sensor will respond to the position of the sun as long as it has sky access, instead of this weird light detecting kind of thing. But yeah.
Okay, yeah, I know what I see what you're saying. Yeah, that'd be a lot easier.
It really would be. That's how I thought they worked, but I was wrong. All right, so now we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of the podcast.
Ooh.
What we like and what we didn't like of the snapshot. So what we're going to be doing is we're on Minecraft's website with the snapshot 20W06A, and we're literally just going to go through each section, read off all the new stuff, and then tell you guys what we liked and what we didn't like. So the first section is blocks, and they added a ton of new blocks, such as the new wood types, the crimson stems and the warped stems, basalt blocks, crimson nylium, warped nylium, the new vegetation nether sprouts, crimson roots, and warped roots, the two new mushroom, or what they're calling fungi type, the crimson and warped, which if you use bone meal on them gives you the warped stems and crimson stems.
Get Christmas.
Yeah. You have warped wart blocks, weeping vines that grow from the bottom block downwards. I think regular vines do that too, but they also grow sideways. So I don't know why that was such a big deal. You have shroom lights, soul soil. You have soul torches, soul lanterns, and netherrack can spread the nylium. So let's get into what we liked and what we didn't like of the new blocks. How about you, Jimbo? You go first.
Well, I do want to congratulate you on pronouncing warped blocks your first time. That was pretty impressive.
But stumbling on crimson.
Yeah, but Christmas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Blue crimson. The new blocks. I really do enjoy them. I'm not too big on the woods though, because I know you can use them other than wood, but red wood, blue wood, I don't know how often I'm going to use it. It's just unnatural. Yeah. Which
it's a lot like what's that purple block from the end?
Purple,
duh.
Yeah.
It's a lot like purple. It's a cool block, but nobody ever uses it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of similar to that. I mean, the good thing is you get you get your stairs out of it, your slabs, your fences. You get more than just a block out of those woods. So that's a plus. It does need to be mined with a pickaxe as of right now, which I thought was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Maybe that's a bug, but my favorite, of course, is the netherite block, but never going to be able to use that. But I do like the basalt blocks in the soul soil. I think those are my favorite. The shroom light, I really like how those grow in the trees, and I do wish you could dye it like you mentioned.
Yes, that would be a nice feature for this block.
Yeah. I was thinking maybe that's just glowstone up there, but no, it's the shroom lights. They were lights, or they are a new lighting block, and to make it dyeable, that'd be awesome. But we had warped, or we had the what is it, the nether warp blocks already. The warp blocks, those seem pretty interesting. The same texture as the nether wart, but again, I guess I'm gonna have to play around with it, see where I'm gonna use these things. Just because they're a different color, maybe I'll just build in the nether with them.
Yeah, but I'm with you. The new wood types, they're cool, but at the same time, they're such distinctive colors.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I'm gonna use them. I really like how to spread nylium. Just bone mealing netherrack with a nylium block near it will grow it, so that's really cool how to spread it.
Yeah.
The soul lanterns and soul torches I really like.
Oh yeah.
Though the way they mess with light levels I'm not so much a fan of, because I think they only go to like light level 10 instead of light level 15.
Yeah, slightly more dim.
Mm-hmm.
But they look so much cooler.
They do look really cool.
That blue, that light blue.
Mm-hmm. Another thing I really liked, I forgot to mention this, but a lot of the nether blocks now have new sounds.
Yes.
And that they sound really, really good.
Mm-hmm. And that's something you wouldn't think you'd bring up.
Right.
But it's very interesting and very cool, the sounds they put in there.
Yeah. My dislikes, the shroom light texture. I think it looks too much like I can't even think of the name. Yeah, glowstone.
Yep, it does.
I'd like you could have chose any color other than a variation of yellow, and you would have been fine.
Yep. That's why you gotta dye them.
Yeah, I think I'm with you. I think you should be able to dye the shroom light. Mm-hmm. It would make a lot of sense to have that light be the dyeable light. The other thing I dislike is the warped wart block. There's not a crafting recipe for that. You can only grow it on the tree and then cut it down like leaves.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like to be able to have some kind of warped wart that you can grow and then craft that block from, like we do nether wart.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's it for my likes and dislikes. Should we move on to Crimson Forest?
Sure.
Alright, the Crimson Forest. Crimson nylium carpets the cave floor with all kinds of strange new vegetation. Huge crimson fungi make up the quote-unquote trees of this forest, with shroom lights lighting up the forest floor. Weeping vines grow from the caves and ceilings and fungi. Hoglins wander these forests, and crimson spores swirl through the air. That's one thing I really like about these new biomes is the little particle effects everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really cool.
Yeah, and they're all different depending on your biome, the ambient particles.
Mm-hmm. I really like how if you don't want to make a nether wart farm to get nether wart block, you now have a different way you can farm it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of it for Crimson Forest on the things I like. The dislikes really simple. We have a lot of red already in the nether, and then they brought in another red biome.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gone with a different color. Can't really do purple because of the end, or a yellow, but like even orange would have been really nice.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of lava that's orange, but it would still.
Yeah, that's true.
The Netherrack, it definitely takes up most of the Nether. That's what you see. It's the red, but yeah, that's a good point. The red on red, it's kind of it's a little boring. The blue kind of stands out a little more.
Yeah, even Soulsand Valley stands out like crazy.
And I noticed in the Soulsand Valley, the backlight, I guess you can call it, is blue. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah. Well, I mean, remember, most of the fire that's in the Soulsand Valley is blue.
Yeah.
So it's a really cool effect.
Crimson Forest that I like the most. I like how the piglins are set to one biome. I think it's better for spawn rates and stuff for them to be in one biome, so you can find them in one area. I imagine, the pigmen will be there also. This does hurt. The Crimson Forest does hurt gold farms.
Yeah, that's one thing I was going to bring up too.
Yeah. And
just can't build that anywhere now.
Yep. And I do like the vines. I think those red vines look really cool. Those can be used in different scenarios.
Yeah. My thing is, I don't want just a different color vines. I want them to be able to do something different than the vines we already have.
Yeah.
They made the overworld vines climbable. So I don't know if these weeping vines are going to be climbable.
No, they're not climbable.
Yeah, so it's kind of like...
Yeah. I guess they would just be like for aesthetic looks instead of use.
Which I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of anything just being for aesthetics. Like, well, I actually have this in Soulsand Valley, so I won't worry about that. The next section, other than Crimson Forest, is Netherite, but I want to skip Netherite and save that for the end.
It's a hot topic, yeah.
Because it's a huge topic. So let's go ahead and skip to... let's do Warped Forest, since we just finished with Crimson Forest, and they're such alike. So you have Warped Nylian that carpets the bottom of the Nether, basically a blue grass. You have the Warped Fungi trees. They also have shroomlights that grow from them. It's got the dark blue fog that covers the forest. Jimbo had mentioned that. You have the blue particle effects, what they call spores. But it's also, quote-unquote, the least hostile space. We talked about this. It's full of Endermen. It's totally a hostile spot.
Yeah. Yeah, a bunch of skeletons wandering around, too, I noticed. I don't know about in that biome, but...
I think the skeleton are just Soulsand Valley.
Yeah, that's where I see them the most.
For this, my likes is the fact that it's a new color in the Nether. I didn't really have any dislikes other than the fact there's no like warped nether wart to craft nether wart blocks, but that's not really anything wrong with the biome. I think this biome's actually really well done, and I really like the name, the color, everything that happens. Maybe the Enderman part's a little annoying, but if you go with the end, you're used to it anyways.
Yeah, it's kind of like they're giving the Nether like a good and evil with the Warped Forest. I mean, you got your Crimson's kind of like they said, more hostile than the Warped. The part I like the most, probably the Soul Soil. I like how they added that with the Soul Sand. They go real well together. It's slightly different. And how the blue flames throughout the biome really set it apart. That's probably...
Well, that's another biome.
What, the blue flames with the soul soil? Oh, that's we're talking about Warped Forest.
Yeah, the blue forest.
That's right. Yeah, I skipped the Warped Forest. Again, I don't know if I'm going to be using too many of those blocks. It'd be a great place to build, because it's not
Yeah.
as hostile.
See, the warped forests is where I would like to see the piglins, but I think, like you said, they were having them in the Crimson Valley.
It'd be cool to see maybe some kind of ruins there, like there was life there.
I agree.
Yep.
So let's move on to Soulsand Valley, since you're one to jump on that one.
Yeah, I already started it.
Yeah. So Soulsand Valley is an open space filled mostly with soul sand and soul soil. Basalt pillars span from floor to ceiling. Fossil remains of unknown creatures from the past litter the valley. Ash falls through the air. A light blue glow envelopes the valley, and beware of skeletons here. What, Jimbo, do you like/dislike Soulsand Valley?
Well, the soul soil is the first thing I brought up. The way it has the blue flames on there. If you were ever to light it, you do get the blue flames, which allows you to get the torches and the blue lanterns also. I like how they put the bones throughout the soul soil, or the soul sand valley. I thought that was a really cool touch. How it's got a little bit of lore behind it. You don't see that too much, but how there's supposedly ancient beasts that used to live there. I thought that was pretty cool. The basalt pillars are really awesome to see. I don't know, they're like breathtaking almost. Just to see them from all the way from top to bottom. I thought that was really cool touch. I'd have never expected anything like that. Yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at on the Soulsand Valley. I really that's got to be my favorite, especially with the ash, the ambient looking ash in the air in the blue background.
I agree with you. Between Warped Forest and Soulsand Valley, those are the best looking of the new biomes, and it's very close. But I think I lean with you. Soulsand Valley is probably the best out of all of them. I really do like the blue flame. I think that was a cool feature. I'd like for it to add a little something different than regular flames, other than just new torches, new lanterns. Maybe like blue flame doesn't burn you, but it burns the undead or something like that. Since like pigmen can't die from fire, maybe blue fire can kill them.
Yeah. I know it doesn't burn your items. You can throw items in the blue flame and it doesn't burn those.
But I think that's just a glitch right now, because I think Exuma Void threw items in regular fire, and it didn't burn there either.
Ah, okay. Yeah, I didn't see that.
So I think that's a good feature. I think that should be a thing where if you throw items in blue fire, it doesn't burn it, but like it hurts undead mobs or something like that.
And
Basalt.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I noticed if you do catch fire from the blue flame, you have a orange flame animation, which I think it'd be cooler if they made it a blue flame animation.
I agree. 100%. If you walk into blue fire, you should be set on blue fire, not regular fire.
Yep.
But the basalt pillars are absolutely gorgeous. The block itself is a really nice block, but my big complaint is, other than look pretty, it does nothing.
Yeah.
I think it would be really cool if maybe you could work basalt into kind of look like the netherite block. Like if you put basalt through a furnace or a blast furnace, maybe you can get like a decrepit version of netherite, but still give us a way to get that really cool texture without having to be broke all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the only thing close to that is like the top of a smithing table. That's as close, and then it's only the top. You don't get the texture all the way around the block like you'd want.
Yeah. The other thing I don't like is the amount of gas spawning is a little ridiculous. But at the same time, putting a ghast farm in that area would probably be really nice.
Yep.
Probably a lot of slabbing though.
Yeah, and you don't want to ruin the biome, so I think the gas spawns are getting a little ridiculous.
Let's get on to the hot topic for the 116 snapshot, and that's netherite. everyone wants to mess with the Netherite. So, Netherite is a new high-level material found in the Nether. You can use it to upgrade your diamond gear. To make Netherite, you have to find ancient debris, which they have listed as in the lower depths of the Nether. So maybe it is a glitch that people are finding it so high up.
Mm-hmm.
But you can refine the ancient debris into Netherite scrap by using a furnace or a blast furnace. You can combine 4 Nether scrap to 4 ingots to get the Netherite ingot, and I think it's 9 Netherite ingots to get that Netherite block.
Ooh, yeah, you got to combine it with gold, Nether scrap, and gold ingots. I thought that's a little twist. You don't see that too often.
Mm-hmm. The Netherite effects. So Netherite items float in lava, which is really cool. Mm-hmm. They have higher enchantment value, so you're more likely to get a better enchantment on a Netherite item than you are like a diamond item. Mm-hmm. I want to say for the longest time, gold items gave you the best enchantments, but
yeah, I think it still is.
Yeah, gold is kind of a worthless item, so
yeah.
Netherite tools work faster and last longer than diamonds. I want to say they don't work that much faster.
Yeah, but very slightly.
But yeah, they do. They do more damage. The armor has more toughness and durability, which I really like. They also give you knockback resistance, which is really cool. I like that. And it looks cool. I have to agree the black texture is okay. But we're going to be talking more about what it looks like here in a second. I think that's all of what Mojang says about Netherite. So let's talk about what we like and what we don't like. Start with you first, Jimbo.
Well, you gotta love the durability and of this item. Now, it's very, very rare to get, like we said before, which makes you want it even more. Now, do you need this? Probably not.
Right.
Because diamond tools and diamond armor are just a step below, like barely a step. I think it's like, 10% better than gold? It's really not as much better.
I think the best you can do is like a Netherite item can give you 500 extra durability compared to diamond. But even then, with mending, is that really that big of a deal?
Yeah, exactly. I noticed even with the beacon, you're still getting about the same speed. I was thinking like maybe the Netherite tools, they can mine things that you can't insta mine with a diamond tool or diamond pickaxe, like a cobblestone. You can't insta mine it. Like maybe with the Netherite you can with the Haste 2 beacon. I don't see why they couldn't give us that at least. But yeah, I mean, besides the fact that they float in lava means you can't lose them unless you fall into the void. You can always come back for them, so that's always a plus to get them or to get that item. But I regardless if I need it or not, I want it because of how rare it is.
Yeah. So a couple things. I love the idea of Netherite. I love the idea that it floats in lava. I think that's awesome. I like the fact that it's a darker shade, almost blackish, if you will. The downfalls, like you said, it's so rare. And if you're playing on a multiplayer server, like the ripple effect's awesome because we all work together and we all try to help each other. But if you're playing on just like a public multiplayer server, you're not getting Netherite. The second somebody has a portal and a diamond pickaxe, they're tearing through the Nether to get all the Netherite they can so they can hoard it for some godforsaken reason. Because that's the way public servers are. If they're not hoarding diamonds, they're going to be hoarding Netherite.
Yeah.
I really like the no knockback effect on armor and the fact that it increases damage. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff I don't like is the missed opportunity to put Netherite on a trident so you could make trident more effective outside of water.
Yeah.
I think that would have been cool to have that. Also, while the new shade of color is really cool, I think it looks really plain.
Yeah.
I think you saw that if you're any kind of Redditor or anything like that, within the day of this snapshot coming out, people were already changing the texture of the armor and tools to add like gold flakes or diamond flakes to the armor, and it looks so good. It looks way better than what Mojang had come out with. And the other thing it brings me to is I don't think you should do netherite plated diamond armor or diamond tools. I think it would have been better to use netherite on golden armor and tools. Like, I still want the end level to be above diamond, like where it's at, but I think netherite with gold tools in armor makes more sense, and then it gives another reason why you should want gold tools and armor.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious. Is it only go on diamond, or could you put it on gold?
As far as I can tell, it only goes on diamond.
Yeah.
But since you already have to make netherite out of gold, to me it only really makes sense to plate gold armor to get netherite armor.
Yeah.
Plus, I saw this one on Reddit. We have links to a couple of the textures or whatever, but this one I saw today, this guy had an animated gold vein through the armor. So it would like sparkle, which I thought was really cool. My only problem is when you put like that enchanted purple wave that everyone has, I don't know, it just doesn't look good anymore. I really don't like the enchantment glow, glisten, whatever you want to call it. I think that's really dumb. But that has nothing to do with netherite armor. I'm excited for netherite armor, but it's just so rare and kind of plain. I have a feeling on a lot of multiplayer servers, you're going to see data packs where you can trade with villagers to get netherite. It'll be some absurd thing. Like you have to trade a stack of diamonds for a couple things of netherite or something like that.
Yeah.
But I think you're going to see stuff like that so people aren't just in the nether for hours upon hours trying to get a netherite pickaxe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just so you know, the netherite, it is fire resistant for your items. You can't jump and swim in lava with it on.
Yeah.
You can get burnt, though your items and stuff will float to the surface. It can kill you still. You need the fire resistant potion.
Yeah, so you still need the enchantments and stuff, which
Yeah.
means your cool black/gray armor is now purple and glowing again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, it'd be cool if they gave it a different type of glow. Like maybe if you enchant it, it gets that diamond texture in it. That'd be cool.
But I think that's it. I think we covered all of the 116 snapshot. We kind of rushed through it because we were worried this podcast would be well over an hour if we took our time. But I think we got everything. Is there any other thing you would like to cover?
No, nothing that I can think of. There's some changes that I was thinking of, but maybe we could save it for another one.
Yeah, because I'm sure there's going to be another snapshot this week.
Yeah, I'm sure this isn't set in stone yet, but I'm excited to see how the piglins look, the zombie pigmen, and see what else they add.
Yeah. Well, if that's it, you want to go ahead and read us out?
Sure. If you like the show, you can share it with all your friends and on social media. If you listen on Spotify, follow us. Or if you listen on Apple Podcasts, leave us a nice review. Doing any of these really helps the show reach more listeners. If you would like to get in contact with the show, send an email to podcast@rippleeffectsmp.com. Tweet us or join our Discord where you can have a chat with everyone who works on the show and fellow listeners. The links are all in the show notes.
Yeah, and before I read my part, I want to bring up, I mentioned this earlier, but looking at the analytics of the show, we are really close to 200 average listeners for the show, which is really awesome.
Nice.
So if you guys don't mind pushing the show out to your friends, if you have some friends that you know like to listen to podcasts and they just haven't found us yet, maybe give them a little tap on the shoulder, be like, hey, check out the Withering Effect, they're pretty cool. This show has been brought to you by Jimbo and myself, but also our digital producer, Carl. He helps make sure the show ends up where it should be and not in a crimson forest somewhere. The amazing music you hear in the intro and outro was created by the one and only Decoy, and everyone's social media info can be found down in the show notes. You guys have been awesome. Thank you so much for getting withered with us. You should probably go drink some milk now. Bye.
See you later.